You know, my son was hands down the best person I've ever personally met. And I'm not just saying that because I'm his mom. I mean, Garrett was, after he got out of the Air Force, he was the sole caretaker of his fiancée. She had lost her limbs a month after they got engaged. Marched 50 consecutive days in the Texas summer heat when it's 115 degrees outside. Feeding the homeless every Wednesday. Loved all animals, especially reptiles. But he was just goofy and funny. Would give anybody the shirt off his back. One of their roommates that came in, I think in April of 2020, was someone who had previously not had a home. And Garrett met him through online gaming and found out the guy needed a place to live and said, "We have an extra bedroom." I mean, Garrett was just amazing. He was an amazing person. Everybody who knew him would tell you, holy cow, he's such an amazing person. Such a big heart. Twisted sense of humor. Fun to be around. But because of the lies on mainstream media and because of the lies spread by Donald Trump, immediately after my son's life was ended, by a violent white supremacist who drove through a red light into a crowd and put 5 bullets into my child. The President of the United States got on his Twitter account with 54 million followers and said my son fired 5 shots and missed, unleashing MAGA hell onto my family. And I voted for him in 2016. Biggest mistake I ever made in my life. I will regret it for the rest of my life. Because it was that hatred incited from that platform that caused all of that division and violence. My son was carrying a firearm because the people on the MAGA side were violently attacking their protests. Garrett was doing the job of the police. The police swore an oath to protect people's constitutional rights to protest. And they weren't doing it. They were assaulting them. So my son started carrying as a deterrent. It's the only reason he was carrying. Everybody, up until that point, would tell me how amazing my child was. What a good person he was. I'd never met anybody like him because of all the good he'd done with his life. But as soon as he started marching with BLM, it was like, psh, nope. On the flip side, the Democrat Party, the Democratic politicians and Democrats in general, as a whole, reached out with so many condolences and support for our family after Garrett's death. But when they found out he was a libertarian, it was like, nope. They didn't like the fact that he was carrying either. And it's just like, so the Republicans, anti-Garrett, and then Democrats became anti-Garrett. And when I talk about Garrett on TikTok, you gotta look. I'm not saying, oh, poor me. I'm not saying feel sorry for me. I'm just making an observation to make people think and wake up. Nobody cares about Garrett anymore. We had this crazy, unprecedented thing happen in this country that's never happened before, ever. Where the President of the United States incited all this violence. An Air Force veteran his life was ended on American soil because he was practicing his constitutional rights on American soil. His life was ended for that. And then he lied about Garrett on his Twitter account. And then the governor of Texas pardoned the guy who was found guilty of planning it. Y'all, it's like a WTF nightmare that I cannot wake up from. And when I try to speak about it, it's like nobody cares. I'm like, what is happening? And I say it all the time, kind of in a joking manner. Like, did we die? Is this hell? And nobody told us we died? It's like, are we really in hell? Because that's literally what my life feels like. I'm sick all the time. I can't freaking function like a normal human being because I'm sick all the time. Because stress has completely deteriorated my health. And when I do go out in public, on the rare occasion that I have to go somewhere, I was questioned about what my son was doing out there with BLM. And why did you let him carry that thing? I would never let my son do that. And it's like, you're overlooking the part where the guy drove into the crowd and unloaded that thing into my child's chest for no reason other than the fact that he didn't like Black Lives Matter. And you're overlooking that to demonize my son. Do you realize I'm his mother? And you're talking about this like you have a fucking opinion on the matter. Like I'm going to care about your stupid opinion. Saying this stuff to my face. So I'm like debilitated socially. I don't go anywhere. And I'm walking around my house with my bird feeling like this is not real. This cannot possibly be my life now. It's what is happening in this country where people can hear about that and go, well, oh well. It's like, really? I don't understand. And it hurts. Bad.